Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Dr. Arnold Nerenberg, clinical psychologist, licensed in the state of California for over 46 years, and I've been in the field about 50 years. I'll be 80 years old in a few months, so I'm bringing to you the insights and lessons and inspirations of a lifetime with the intention of uplifting you and your loved ones for the rest of your lives. That's my intention, to bring that kind of knowledge and inspiration to you. So it's not just for something to give you today, but something you'll be able to use all your days. The title of today's presentation is Crisis and Tribulation, Good Will Come from the Bad. Crisis and tribulation, good will come from the bad. I want to tell you right up front that this time we're having in the world right now, it's a pandemic. We're having a political divide, strong one. This is the year 2021, January of 2021. And I'm telling you now that good will come of it. And this is a crisis. We're in a tribulation for sure. And you have your own personal crisis, your own tribulations. I mean, some severe ones. I mean, I know people who have themselves have COVID, their relatives have COVID, some people died from it that they know and close to them. So I'm saying that good will come from the bad. You're going to see how that happens. And then when I'm saying that, I'm not denying that the bad is real. I'm not saying the crisis isn't severe. I'm not going to be saying that the tribulation is trivial. No, these are real. These are heartbreaking. Absolutely. But I'm only saying to you that it's not the full story. It's not. If you really look at it, you'll see the good that emerges from it. For example, with the racial divide that we have, all of us are realizing that we need more unity. There's going to become a tremendous craving to become unified and to get past this. So that craving for unity will emerge from the divide. You're not seeing that yet, but you'll be seeing that emerging. And if you look at it with the whole pandemic, it'll help us appreciate our health as it passes, appreciate getting our vaccinations. It's already increased our gratitude to nurses and doctors in the hospitals and recognizing who the real heroes are. So it's helped put things in perspective. As valuable as athletes are, and we appreciate them, they were being more appreciated than nurses and medical workers before. Well, this puts it in perspective. I mean, who's risking their lives, who are the heroes, who's really putting themselves out there for us. So it puts things in perspective, and I'm not minimizing the athletes and their contribution. It's enormous. But this puts it in more perspective. So one gain that we're already getting is greater perspective. And the same applies for your own tribulations that you're going through, your own issues that are happening. You always want to say this, to get the good from the crisis and the tribulations, it's a matter of attitude. When you're in a crisis, you're in a tribulation, you want to say, I'll come back stronger than ever. I'll come back stronger than ever. I call that one of the two derivatives of the warrior's commandment of honor. The warrior's commandment of honor is, I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. And I'm not saying I'm grateful for the hardship. I'm grateful for the power I'll gain from the hardship. I'm going to become more compassionate. I'll gain wisdom. Whatever gains you're getting. And there are gains there. You'll be gaining power in one form or another from it. Absolutely, every time. You'll see, without exception, if you look at anything in your life that was difficult, you'll see how you became stronger from it, wiser, more resilient, more self-confident. But a lot depends on attitude. You're saying, I'll come back stronger than ever. The other of the two derivatives of the warrior's commandment of honor is, what's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? What's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? And there is a best true story. And I've given so many lectures and so many examples of it in my own personal life. You could do the same thing in your lives. And there's so many examples that go on an everyday basis. What's the best true story? We're not saying what's the best story. We're saying what's the best true story, and you'll see it. But let me tell you the underlying principles behind this. Let me tell you the underlying principles. Enshrined within your deepest struggle is the seed of your nobility, your destiny, and your legacy. Enshrined within your deepest struggle is the seed of your nobility, your destiny, your legacy. Now, you'll find that you reach into that darkness, into this tribulation, into the crisis, and you will pull out a jewel, something wonderful, a great treasure, a treasure of the tribulation. Again, I'm not denying your suffering. I'm not trying to minimize your suffering, your fears, your worries, your loss. That's real. We're not trying in any way to diminish that. We're just saying it's not the full story. Look at the gain. What's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? Now, it is a fact, psychological fact, that all things work for good for those who seek the good. If you look to find the good in it, you will find it. So what I'm encouraging you in this whole system, and it's all part of a way of honor, which I'll be talking about, because this whole way for the good that will come from the bad is harvested through a perspective. The good that will come from the bad is harvested through your perspective. And it has to do with an attitude based on the way of honor, which involves the 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, being a devotee of honor, the supremacy of honor code. That's all there. I'm going to talk about what that is. So that's it. So enshrined within your deepest struggles, the seed of your nobility, your destiny, and your legacy. You got to totally understand the truth of that statement. You've seen it. The older you get, the more you understand how true it is. Now, I'll give you a small example of an issue that I'm dealing with, just to give you a small example. I started developing a little tinnitus, a little ringing in the ear, which is pretty annoying. And with that came a little vertigo, a little nausea, low level. And it's concerning, and I didn't know what was happening. So I said, well, I'll come back stronger than ever, and I want to find the good. I want to tell myself the rest of that story. So I have a strong faith in God, strong trust in the reality of God and His mercy, but also that God dwells within, that we're created in the image of God, that He stands within me, mighty, powerful, and self-subsisting, that the eternal light that God placed in me is there. So I asked God, I said, allow me, when I'm hearing these sounds and getting these feelings, to be a reminder that you're within me. A reminder to the reality that the divine spark, the divinity, your divinity is also within me. And I would say certainly I've been reminded more often. I mean, I certainly don't like, it didn't get me to like the tinnitus, the nausea, or the vertigo. It really doesn't. And I have that now. I mean, it's not severe, but it's there. And I went, of course, I'm working on it medically. I went to an audiologist. My hearing is good. I got to go to ENT, get an MRI. I mean, I'm pursuing what I have to do medically. But at the same time, I've already benefited from really having a deeper appreciation for God dwelling within me. And then the offshoot of that is realizing, I mean, certainly that God dwells within you. That He stands within you, mighty, powerful, and self-subsisting. You were made in the image of God. You have that eternal light placed within you that cannot be extinguished. So it's the divinity within me honors the divinity within you. The divinity within me honors the divinity within you. And they have in India in the East, they go Namaste, which means I honor the light within you. It's a beautiful thing to be saying. So it's taken me to a level of appreciation of who you are. And I mostly experience that divinity within myself by seeing the beauty and the greatness of you, of others. When I see that, that's me being in touch with my own divine nature. When I see your beauty, your greatness, that's God standing within me, mighty, powerful, and self-subsisting. That's a sign that it's there, because I don't experience it directly. And so this whole understanding that's been opening up came from what? Tinnitus. Tinnitus, nausea, vertigo. And And it came from, now again, I want to do everything I can to get rid of this thing. Or to manage it really in a good way. But at the same, so I'm not trying to minimize the annoyance and the concern and the uncertainty I have. I definitely have some concerns. I have uncertainty. What is this indicative of? I'm researching it. My knowledge base is increasing. I'll be able to help others with this, just like I did when I had a prostate cancer at 65. And I said to the doc when he told me, I said, that's great. This will make me stronger spiritually, emotionally, and physically. And it did. I took the title strongest drug-free man in the world for my age and weight at the time. And I saw the beauty of life so much more because I didn't know how much time I'd be here. Well, I went and had the surgery, had a prostatectomy, had my prostate removed. It hadn't spread. But I found a lot of knowledge. I found out that pomegranate juice will shrink tumors, prostate tumors. It also helps where it won't spread as rapidly. Well, fortunately, it was taken out in time. But I saw then the good that came out of the bed. I wasn't grateful for the prostate cancer. I was grateful for the tremendous spiritual upliftment I had, and also that I was able to still achieve great feats of strength while I had it. So this one is not something in retrospect. I'm in the middle of this one, and I'm sharing that with you now. I've shared before about that prostate cancer one, which was 14 years ago, over 14 years ago, close to 15 years ago. But now I'm sharing this one, which is a recent one, because I want to show you that I'm right in it. You don't have to wait and just look in retrospect and say, wow, that thing really made me a greater man. No. Right when you're in it. So I'm going to come back stronger than ever. And then, of course, when you're facing medical issues, you think, well, the worst case scenario is you don't make it and you pass away. I mean, that would be a great step for me. I mean, the next life is going to be even more beautiful. It's going to be it'll be hard for my loved ones, but that'll be a great step for me. That'll even be a better. I'll be able to do even more, not being encumbered by a body or whatnot. Of course, I want to stay here as long as I can, and serve serve particularly the honor movement. And God willing, I will. But you get these thoughts. So whatever you're going through, you certainly look at worst case scenarios. That's natural. That's why I'm sharing with you my particular issue. But also, I have a lot of knowledge about prostate cancer. I had a heart attack when I was 61. I developed tremendous knowledge about that, and I've been able to help other people. So whatever you're going through, whatever tribulation, whatever crisis you're going through, you're going to be in a position to help others. Wisdom, you definitely can be gaining wisdom. There's no such thing as wisdom without suffering. No such thing. Suffering is a necessity, a prerequisite for wisdom. If someone has never suffered, they can achieve enjoying their lives, and it's beautiful, but they're not going to have wisdom. And wisdom is a beautiful light. It's a treasure in itself. And it's one of the gains and one of the consequences of suffering. So now, the full attitude has to be walking the way of honor. What is the way of honor? Well, honor itself is loyalty to your highest constructive values as enshrined within the 4 commandments of honor. Now, they also call them the 4 principles of honor, the 4 self-commandments of honor. These are not commandments that are external to ourselves. Everybody already believes in these 4 commandments. You're commanding the reality of honor to rise up within your being, to manifest in consciousness of thoughts, words, and actions. And that's the 4 commandments of honor are these. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. Then one of 2 commandments, depends whether you believe in God or not. If you believe in God as I do, it's God, your wish is my only wish. Otherwise, you can use, I seek always to serve my highest values. So there you have the 4 commandments of honor, which sets the groundwork, the foundation for harvesting the good from the bad. But now, just hearing me say that is not enough. You need to commit your life to the way of honor. And we do this by taking the pledge of honor, which goes this way. As a disciple of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the 4 commandments of honor. And I'll teach them to those I love. I'll repeat them every morning, afternoon, and evening, and I'll listen to myself recite them. Welcome to the brotherhood. I tell the people who take the pledge, welcome to the sisterhood. Now, we've had over 1,100 people take that pledge. I did it over a 6-year period. I did a study on it. I published it. It'll be coming out in the National Psychologist soon. It's just a wonderful thing for people to take that pledge and go in this dimension. And it to be able to harvest. What you're basically looking to do is to harvest the good out of the bad. And it doesn't eradicate the bad. I've not eradicated my tinnitus, my nausea, or my vertigo by my attitude, but I am changing the quality of it, and I'm already beginning to harvest good. I'm also gaining a lot of knowledge. I'm going to be able to help other people. Now, then you want to maximize the probability that you're going to use the commandments of honor in any situation. So that's the bridge from honor to the realm of reality. And the bridge goes this way. You say the 4 commandments of honor, and then you say, what's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So for me, it'd be, God, your wish is my only wish. I wish you well. I take full responsibility for co-creating my reality and my problems. I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. What's the most honorable thing to think, say, and do? So honor then becomes the gold standard for assessing all thoughts, words, and actions. Honor is the gold standard for assessing all thoughts, words, and actions. And by saying those 4 commandments 3 times a day, this is what you're really doing. Repetition is preparation for application. Saying the commandments and the bridge may uplift you, and it may not. But it's not long enough to be boring. But it prepares you for the application. The repetition is preparation for application. And those applications are amazing. And the commandments themselves create a positive energy flow. They're extremely healthy thoughts, good for the psychological immune system, which positively impacts our physical immune system, strengthens us morally, emotionally, and physically. So it's just an awesome thing to have. Now, so then you had also the 2 derivatives of the warrior's commandment of honor. The warrior's commandment of honor, as I mentioned earlier, is I'm grateful for the power I gain from hardship. The 2 derivatives, I'll come back stronger than ever. And what's the best true story I can tell myself about this problem? That's a whole way of giving dignity to yourself. And it's the opposite of just whining, complaining, and feeling sorry for ourselves. No, we step up. This is a way of the warrior. The honor way is the way of a warrior, not in terms of a gun being in battle, but the battle of life, dealing with it in a constructive, positive way. Which, by the way, these thoughts are actually medicine. They increase because it creates a positivism and an optimism that enhances your prognosis for anything you're going through. It's a fact that people who have an optimistic attitude, a positive attitude, even do better from surgeries. They have a higher survival rate. That's a fact. Also, you'll be less prone to rages and angers, which then protects your cardiovascular system, reduces your stress. Now, the next step after being a disciple of honor, when people become advanced in that realm, I then give them the opportunity to become devotees of honor. So they're not only saying their 4 commandments of honor, the bridge. If they choose, they can be doing the 2 derivatives of the warrior's commandment of honor. But also, they then will be agreeing to repeat the supremacy of honor code 3 times a day. The supremacy of honor code. The supremacy of honor code is this. It just takes it to another level. Honor before pride, honor before anger, honor before sex, honor before money. Honor before fear, honor before everything. Honor before life itself. It's a very simple system. But I want to tell you, this is the way you harvest the good from the bad. If you want to be able to harvest the good out of the bad, this is the way. 4 commandments of honor, the bridge, the 2 derivatives, the supremacy of honor code. Now, the pledge to be a devotee of honor is this. As a devotee of honor, I pledge myself all the days of my life to the supremacy of honor code. And I'll bring it to the world for a more just society. So that when we take the disciples of honor, when we take that pledge, we're bringing the honor to ourselves and to our loved ones. When we become a devotee of honor, we're bringing it to the world for a more just society. So this is not only a therapy movement and a self-help movement, it's also a social movement, an honor social movement. to bring to all areas of life, whether it's about racism or enhancing the marriage, or in the schools, in the sports. We've got educational programs for all of it. So this is an overview of crisis and tribulation. Good will come from the bad. And the attitude where you'll be able to harvest. It's a matter of harvesting the good out of the bad. It's doable. And we're not denying the bad, the difficulties, the suffering, things that we never in a million years would want to have happen. But it's there. It is what it is. But now we're trying to find some good in it. We're trying to do something productive with it. We're walking the path of honor. Now I'll just give you an opportunity to comment or ask any questions. Lee, is there anything you want to ask or say about it?
You know, I've pretty much I've known you for almost a year at this point, and I've devoted myself to this principle of honor, and it's made a world of difference in my life. It's made a world of difference in your life. I hear you. The only thing I can tell you at this point is my honor and my legacy is everything in my life. I'm an older individual, and everything I can teach my children or my grandchildren at this point could save them in the future. And it all relates back to the honor. Well,
you and I both understand I've not always lived with honor, but I'll die with honor.
100%.
Yeah, we both understand that. And like my father said to me, he said, son, I have a lot of good advice to give you. Not because I've been so smart, it's just I've been so stupid. So my stupidity, our stupidity, certainly is going to enhance us and help us in helping our children, our grandchildren. In my case, to my patients, who I consider you not just my patients, but my people. So it's been a great education.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Michael, anything that you want to add or say?
Just, I mean, it's been an honor knowing you for almost, more than 30 years now?
It's about 30 years we've known each other.
Yeah, I mean, you helped shape me into the, gray-haired man that I am.
Oh, God.
I'm proud of it because it's with that wisdom and that honor that you taught us that I've been able to pass it on too, to my clients and other people. So, keep doing the great work. That last YouTube video you sent, it was great.
Yeah, that was one I did when I was 73. That's 7 years ago. That was an oldie. Yeah.
That's a real good one.
Yeah.
And today was great too. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you. I met Michael when he was working at UPS many years ago, and I saw he's so intellectual. I said, Michael, you should go to college. You should be Dr. Miguel Trejo. And then 10 years later, he invited me to his PhD graduation ceremony. He achieved it, Dr. Trejo. Well, listen, we're running out of time from this. We only get 40 minutes on this, so I'm going to say goodbye to you right now and say what a pleasure and a privilege it's been for me and an enjoyment to spend this time with you. Thank you very, very much.